All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden Faithful podcast presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 4, and I am joined by Aaron from CPNY Sports' Blue Shirts Banter podcast and his podcast, That's My Sports. So shout out to him. How are you today, Aaron?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. I am doing well. So today we will be chatting about the Rangers versus Blackhawks, Rangers at Canadians, and Rangers versus Canucks. So we'll get started. The Rangers versus Blackhawks at Madison Square Garden. Personally, I think this was a very good game. First goal scored by Artemi Panarin kept the game 1-0 into the second period. Then Chris Kreider made it 2-0. Then Colin Blackwell put Chicago on the board. But that's all Chicago scored. Third period, the Trouba train pulled into the station, made it 3-1. Then Jimmy VC made it 4-1, and that got us to our final score 4-1. Aaron, what did you think about this game?
I mean, you're forgetting about with Panarin's score that Vincent Trocheck said to Connor Bedard, "Welcome to the league."
Yeah,
knocked down Connor Bedard, and then Panarin came in for the win. But I mean, this Blackhawks team, it would have been a lot better if like Corey Perry and Taylor Hall, all of them were playing in this game, but obviously hurt. And then we all know what happened with Corey Perry. So it's like this is like a glorified AHL team with Connor Bedard on here. So it's like if we didn't get the victory on this one, then there's some serious problems with this Rangers team. But I mean, I can't believe that Peter Mrazek is still in the league. I mean, I remember him from Carolina and a little bit of Detroit. But I mean, oh, and that was it was a good motivation to keep it going, especially after what happened with the Hurricanes loss.
Yeah.
So it's an original 6 team, so it's always good to get a nice win over them.
Yeah, it's fun to get original 6 wins. I was at the Boston Bruins New York Rangers game, I believe back in November, and that place erupted whenever a goal went.
Oh my! You were at the 7-3 one or the 7-4 one? Oh my god,
yeah.
That must have been electric.
So yeah, the shots on goal, Chicago had 23, Rangers had 32. I'm confused why the Rangers always have such high shots on goal. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it's funny you say that because I believe in the Tampa game we only had 21 shots, whereas Tampa had like 35 against us, and we beat them up. But I mean, it's good that we're getting the shots, especially from I believe Brent Othman's first game. He had 5 shots, so that's pretty good. I mean, everyone was kind of worried about him coming up, like, is he going to do anything? But I mean, 5 shots, especially in his first game ever. I think that's a good one. But I mean, for me too, it's like the power plays. Like we could either go 1 for 2 like we did against Chicago, or we could go like 0-4, 0-5. So we just need to clean that up a little bit. But I mean, our face-off win percentage, I think it's still top 5 in the league. I think Vincent Trocheck is leading it still with 60. No, I think it's like 58 or 60% whenever he does the face-off. So
are we still good with the penalty kill? I think that was pretty good last night.
Yeah, I think all right. I think Chicago didn't get any power play goals on that one. I know it was the other day, so I'm just trying to remember. But I think our penalty kill still, I think it's at 84%. So that's got to be at least top 10. So I'll definitely take that, especially during the David Quinn years when our penalty kill was just atrocious. I will absolutely take this from Lafayette.
Yeah. What did we score? It was 4-1. Yeah, it was 4-1. I thought it was a good game. Yeah, Ottman getting the 4 shots on goal for his first time. That's pretty good
Yeah.
for
So I
me.
mean, I like the combination that he has at the third line. The third line wings. So hopefully he can kind of keep it with like a kids line, what we talked about on Blue
Yeah,
Shirts banner with Sunny Days Jerry
yeah,
and CP. Hopefully we keep that little kid line going. I feel like it's a lot better than if we put, let's say, I think Barclay Goodrow was like moved
yeah,
up in this game, and it was like, dude, he should not get a promotion.
yeah,
This guy should be demoted or at least traded because he's
yeah,
absolutely been on a milk carton. But yeah, I mean, people keep forgetting too is that we're not at full strength. I know
yeah,
Capocaco skating. Philip Hedel, he obviously went back to his native country, which is fine. You do what you need to do until you can
yeah,
come back. It must have been a really bad concussion.
yeah,
But also too, Igor, 6-1, obviously all-star. So everyone was complaining about that one. I had to keep telling everybody, Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. And the last 7 games, he's 6-1. I think he has 2 overtime wins, and I think he's got a 2-goal ERA. So I mean,
yeah,
all those Rangers doubters who've never watched hockey, every
yeah.
good goalie goes through a slump, and Igor's finally going up.
Yep. I'm gonna get into that in a few minutes. Real quickly before we move ahead, I wanted to do this. Make sure you follow Aaron on Instagram and Twitter. He's got awesome podcast content, just sports content in general. He's a part of the Blue Shirts Banter podcast, so I listen to that every time it comes up. And they're both Jerry and Aaron are both awesome, and they do very good. So
Yeah, we're trying to get something this week because of what's been going on
yeah,
throughout. So just everyone, if you subscribe to CPNY Sports' YouTube, that's where you'll find Blue Shirts Banner. Just make sure you put on the subscribe for the Blue Shirts and the little bell, and then hopefully you'll see an episode this week from
yeah.
us.
I did want to ask, do you think Philip Keitel's out for the season?
It's pretty much looking like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it was a really bad concussion that he had. It must be either still lingering or something's going on that we don't know about, and which is why he went back to his homeland. And I'm fine with that. Jerry said it pretty best last week. Just don't do anything that's going to suspend you when you come back into the league. So as long as he does that, I have no problem with that.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think the Rangers Blackhawks games, I think that was good. Obviously, like you said, original 6 game is good to get the win in. So I think that will move ahead. Yesterday's game. Rangers versus Canadians at Center Bell up in Montreal. I don't know. I thought it was a pretty bad game from the start. Habs score, make it 3-0, and then they went into the next. It's maybe started to get a little better in the second period. Rangers tied it. Then we went to overtime and a shootout. Unfortunately, we lost the game in the shootout. Aaron, what were your takeaways from this game?
Pretty much Jonathan Quick's coming right back down to earth.
Yeah.
I believe he's 9-2-2.
Yeah.
And everyone kept saying, "Oh, put in Jonathan Quick, forget Igor." And what was it? The last three games he's played, he's pretty much lost them all, which is not all on him, but yeah, he's pretty much taken a quick nosedive. I believe he's given up at least 3 to 4 goals if you don't count the shootout goal. We technically before, but he's given up at least 3 to 4 goals the last 3 starts. Obviously, he can't stand on his head. The defense has been pretty lackluster, even with Igor and Jonathan Quick. So the defense needs to step it up. The last, I think, 5 games, this defense has just been lackadaisy. They're not doing anything. They're just kind of in the motion. And I've seen that too many times in the past, especially with Malaine Vignol's teams as well. They were not rocking on defense. But, yeah I mean, offensively, good. Panarin is – I feel like he's going to score 117 points. He's finally going to break that 100-point yard. Vincent Trocheck, I mean, that's a pretty good second-line center, if you ask me. I mean, I was a little questionable when we signed him because it was a 7-year deal. He's getting up there in age, but so far,
Yeah.
He's been amazing for us. So, I mean, Adam Fox, do you think he's hurt? Like he's still hurt? I mean, he's kind of looking like when Igor came back, and he looks like a little rusty and a little sluggish. I know he scored that pretty much from the blue line
It
goal
really
against the Canadians, but
it really looks like he's just tired. Like he doesn't look like himself. But I don't know. Maybe he's still injured. He might have. I don't want to say anything too much, but he might have just wanted to come back just to come back and like, yeah,
I mean, there's not a good thing when you're talking hero ball like that. Don't be the hero. If you're still injured, you're hurting the team more from being out there than
yeah,
not being out there. But that's
yeah.
just me.
Um. All right, so I'll do stats real quick. First period, Gallagher scores for the Habs, makes it 1-0. We move on to second period. Habs score again, two in a row. Monahan and Armia to make it 3-0. Then Vincent Trocheck gets the Rangers on the board, 1-3 score now. Then Panarin um, makes it 2-3. And then we go to the third period. That was Adam Fox, right? Who scored?
Yeah, from the blue line, pretty much.
Okay.
He was
Yeah.
right out there. I thought it would have been either Will Cully because he was right in front,
Yeah.
but nah, it was all Adam
I
Fox right there.
I had it as Will Cooley on my Twitter page, but I looked onto NHL and they said Adam Fox, so I'll trust that. Um, Adam Fox scores to tie it up, which brings us to the overtime. What did you think of the offense and defense?
Overtime was good. Jonathan Quick showed up. There was
Yeah.
two goals that could have went by him, but he pretty much
Yeah.
extended out his legs. Same thing in the shootout. It was kind of funny with that. He stopped Nick Suzuki, and pretty much the next the next round, it was pretty much the same play for the shootout, except that I forgot who it was, but deked out Jonathan Quick. But I'm kind of surprised that we put out Lafreniere out there for the shootout. I figured we would have put like Panarin or maybe like Chris Kreider out there. I mean, Mika Zibanejad did not look that good on that
Yeah.
shootout goal at all. I don't know what he was trying to do. Me and you could have stopped that. He didn't fool anybody. But yeah, overtime was good. We had a few opportunities to score and didn't. But I mean, it is what it is. Do you still like the 3-on-3 format for overtime? Because I've heard some rumblings that they're going to try to change it a little bit, which I have no idea why.
I don't know because that would make power plays a little crazy. So I'd rather have it like 5-on-5 still, like during a regular game. Um, and I don't know if I would make overtime 5 minutes. I might shorten the time.
Ooh,
Just
I mean,
just to,
that's
just to make the game like I don't know if it would make the game more exciting or what, but you know, I'd make it 5-on-5, maybe 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Interesting.
Yeah,
Definitely time restricted on that one.
yeah. So then we went into overtime. It was pretty quiet. Well, no, not quiet. There was a lot of chances for the Canadians to get back back on board. I think I do have to say, Canadians fans are crazy.
I mean, you
They're,
can't
they're
blame them.
wild.
I can't
But
blame them. Literally,
yeah,
they were in the Stanley Cup during COVID, and now they're pretty much like at the bottom of the barrel now
yeah,
as an original six. So it's like they're almost rebuilding, but they're not. If that makes any
yeah.
sense.
What are
So,
they? The 24-time Stanley Cup champions?
I believe it's either 24 or 25. I believe it's 24 though, but yeah, but that was all from pretty much like the 70s and the 50s, the
Yeah,
40s. I think the last time they won it was what 1992.
yeah. I
So,
think that's what I saw. Um, yeah. So we did overtime. That overtime was interesting. I thought. And then we went to shootout. Um, I think the reason they sent Lafreniere out was because his family was there.
I mean, you can't do that in a crucial situation like that. If you can't just put
I
them
don't
out there to put
know.
them out there, but
Yeah, uh, I'm not sure, but Um, yeah, they went into the shootout, missed the two. What was it? Mika Panarin and Laffy.
Yeah.
Three, yeah. Um, Caulfield um, got the last shot, and then they blocked Lafreniere's, and that was the end of that game. Um, any other thoughts on this Rangers Canadians game at all?
Pretty much just need to lock it up better on defense because it looked like I believe it was the Gallagher goal. They just were just there.
Yeah,
They didn't do anything to stop. They just kind of a little lackadaisy. So I think going forward, especially with the teams that are coming up soon, they need to improve and tighten up that defense real quick. I trust Peter Laviolette because I know he's going to do it for them. And he's not
yeah,
going to be like Gerard Gallant, who's not going to make any changes to make the team better. So hopefully, going into, I believe the next game is Monday.
yeah,
So hopefully they have everything they need, the adjustments that they need, because this team that we're going to talk about is insanely good. So I'm
yeah.
very surprised.
The Canucks. Yeah. I've had a bad experience with Canucks fans, so I don't really like them. Um, I guess we'll get into that now. Now let's get into Rangers Canucks matchup at the Garden Monday. As you just said, Canucks are on fire. Um, I I wasn't expecting it. I don't think anybody was. Um, you know, uh, I know everybody talks about Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes this, Quinn Hughes that. Um, he's a very good player. Who do you think will be in net? I think Igor.
Yeah, you have to go with Igor in this one. You can't go back to back with Jonathan Quick just because of the age. I know Igor is a all-star, but in a situation like this where I believe the Canucks either were tied with them for points
Yeah,
in the Eastern Conference in the NHL, I think you got to go with your best goalie here, especially in this crucial
yeah,
situation. And let's not forget, they have an old Ranger over there, JT Miller, lighting it up.
yeah,
I think he's got 53 points,
yeah,
and he's going for his first 100. I know we talked about the other day on Blue Shirts banner that he actually got robbed. I believe it was 2 years ago. He had like 98 points or something like that, and they wouldn't give him the extra 2 points that he needed for that season. But I mean, top to bottom, talk about a revamp. You had Bruce Bordeaux last year, Elias Patterson, which is a first rounder from them. They didn't really
yeah,
do too much. Now all of a sudden you got Quinn Hughes as the captain, really keeping that team sharp. Thomas Demko is looking at the Vizino Award right now. If
yeah,
you were to give it to him today, so this team's got some good people on here. I mean, even I think it was Brock Bozer. I
yeah,
think he's been doing lighting it up too.
mm,
So I mean, this team's gonna come at you real quick with their skates. They're definitely gonna try to score fast and quick. So definitely Igor needs to be on his game, but also too that defense needs to be on its game like it's their job.
yeah,
So that's just me.
yeah. Um, you know, uh, currently the standings: the Canucks are 24-11-1. Rangers are 26-11-1. I think I have that right.
I believe so, yeah.
Last 10 games for the Canucks, they are 6-2-2, and the Rangers are 7-3-0. So, yeah, I think if you have Igor and net, you got. I'm hoping the defense is good. Um, again, the shots on goal I think is crazy how many the Rangers get. Um, but yeah, power play percentage for Vancouver is 24%, and the Rangers are 30. So not too much difference there.
Yeah, but the Rangers are their first in power play percentage, though,
Yeah,
which is
uh,
good. It just goes
yeah.
to show.
Um, uh,
But I
oh
know, I believe goals per game. Vancouver is one. I believe at that. I think they average at least 3.82. So that's why I think Igor needs to definitely be a net in this one because I
yeah,
believe we're like 15th or 14th. I think we only average like 3.37, which is crazy because
Yeah.
we are not a fully stacked, healthy team, and yet we're in the top 13 to 15 in
Yeah.
goals for. So I'll take that.
Penalty kill 84% for the Rangers, 78% for Canucks. I was just gonna ask um what do you think of the Canucks penalty kill?
I mean, 78 is not too bad. I definitely think though on our penalty we cannot go 0-4. That's
Yeah.
for sure. We definitely need to make a statement on that one. I think in the beginning of the season as well. I believe they were 1-4 the first time we played against the Canucks, 4 power plays. So we definitely need to improve on that one over that first matchup. But then again, we were in Vancouver, so hopefully it'll be different at the Garden. I know we're 13-5 at the Garden, so hopefully with all the fans there, it'll give them a little extra juice. Plus, I mean, like I said, our power play percentage is number one, so I'm not too worried about Vancouver as long
Yeah.
as we just get the shots on goal and keep it in their zone and not
Yeah.
keep it in our zone. I think we should be all right.
I did want to mention real quick. I know I'm going to go off of this
Oh, that's all good.
Vancouver game. I saw a lot on Twitter about last night. People saying that I could just imagine a Lafreniere over not overtime shootout point, and then quick finishing the job, and then the Rangers winning 4-3. So I just wanted to mention that.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, so, uh, like you and Jerry say on the Blue Shirts banner, you know, Quick is now going through a slump. And like you say, um, it, all goalies go through a slump time. I'm glad it's happening now instead of during the playoffs or sometime when it's important, when we're about to clinch a playoff spot. Um, yeah. I did want to mention one more thing. What do you? I'm sure I've asked this on Blue Shirts banner. What do you think of the third jerseys?
Uh, I could take them or leave them, to be honest. I would rather have the Statue of Liberty ones.
Yeah,
I just feel like the logo's a little too high up here in the neck area.
yeah,
And I believe the C, like for Jacob Trouba, is just, I feel like it's just too big. But
yeah,
and the price for it is a little outrageous. I think that's just too much for those kind of jerseys. But
yeah,
I mean, that's just me. I mean, if people like it, then people like it. I have no problem with that.
yeah,
But I do want to ask you though,
yeah.
what is your preference of jerseys? Which one do you like the best?
Which one do I like the
And
best?
you can pick Winter Classics or Stadium Series, anything like that.
Well, I'm excited to see what this year's Stadium Series jersey is, but I know I can't pick that one. I like the white away jersey,
Mm.
and I do like a lot. Real quick, I'm going to show this comment. What's up, Grant? How are you today? um, but yeah, I like the reverse retro from last year. Um,
Mm.
I I I don't know. I don't really have a preference on jerseys. If I have it, I have it. I wear it. You know, whatever. Um, but if I really had to choose, it would probably be what was it the dark blue, like the navy Statue of Liberty one. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah,
I like
that was one of my first ones, which is why I like it the most. It was actually
yeah,
it was a Yarmer Yager one that I had back in
yeah,
the day.
yeah. I like that one a lot. Um, so yeah,
So let me ask you this. So with what our lineup looks like, and do you think there's anyone that we can get with the salary cap that we have, or just with certain trade packages, who would you want like either back on the Rangers or on the Rangers going forward before the trade deadline?
Frank Vachana.
And I keep saying that a lot too. And he was in he was with the Hartford Wolfpack last year. We never brought him
Yeah,
up, I believe.
Yeah, I'd want Frank Fachano back.
I actually would want Vladimir Tarasenko.
Or yeah,
He's even though
um,
he's got the 5 mil, the Senators are. I don't
yeah,
know what the Senators are doing because it's funny. People were glorifying them as going to be the last wild card team in the NHL. It was either them or Buffalo, and with all the scandals, the suspension for gambling, and the firing of coaches, I think Vladimir Tarasenko wants to come out. And I mean, let's just give him Barclay Goodrow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
maybe pay half of his contract to bring him over there to the Sens. But yeah, I think Tarasenko. I saw Anthony Duclair
yeah,
coming back for a reunion, but I feel like Boston's going to find a way to just snatch him up because they need him kind of bad over there in Boston,
yeah,
unfortunately. But I wouldn't mind him have a little reunion. We kind of gave up on him back in the day, and I mean I don't oppose Frank Vetrano, but we did talk about this one. Steven Stamkos. He
oh
is
yeah,
he's getting a little bit older. He's on the
yeah,
1 year deal. Tampa's Tampa right now. Their age is showing.
mhm,
Should we trade for him to kind of put that pushover like we've done in the past, where we've gotten like the Brandon Shanahans, the Yagers, the Michael Roosevelts,
yeah,
even I'm trying to think of who else we've gotten. I can't think of it, but I feel like Steven Stamkos would be good for us. But I think he would want to be somewhere in the Maple Leafs organization just because he's grown up as a Maple Leafs fan too.
yeah. Um, another one that I wanted to come back was Patrick Kane. But
It's funny that you say that because
went to Detroit.
the red. Well, we all knew he was going to go to Detroit because
Yeah,
of Alex DeBrincat. You know, the time in
yeah,
Chicago, and they're see that line is clicking.
yeah,
It's just I think with us, I don't know if he would be the same. And it's also too is the Red Wings have gotten worse with him. I think they're like
yeah,
4-8 their last 12 or something like that. So,
yeah.
but I definitely would want either Bonino to get back on that fourth line. Maybe I mean Blake Wheeler's been okay. I don't think he's worth the first line, so we maybe try to either bump him back down to the fourth or get someone that's a good second, and we can just elevate Lafreniere to the first line. But I
Yeah,
think we need to change up something down there on that third, fourth line.
yeah,
Um, and then I think I would try to get rid of Schneider on the defense, but I don't really know who to get because I feel like
yeah,
he's just kind of like a waste of a signing. I don't feel like he's that good.
yeah.
And when Tyler Pitlick comes back, I think he needs to stay down in the AHL in Hartford and maybe bring up our Artem Anisimov so we can get that sniper celebration when he
Yeah.
scores. But that's just me.
What the heck is going on with Barclay Goodrow?
He's on a
Like
milk cart,
he's
and I said it on last Blue Shirts Banner episode with Jerry. It's like all those Tampa Bay Lightning guys that won the cups, they're just get secure in the bag and walking away. So we got Alec Kilhorn over there in Anaheim. He secured his bag. He's old. He's just there.
yeah,
Um, was Tyler Johnson? He secured his bag and he went to Chicago for all those I think it was 7 years. Barclay Goodrow, same thing. He's just securing the bag, getting what's taught, and it's kind of funny because the Chicago Blackhawks did the same thing.
yeah,
Brand Saad did that when he went to Dallas. I think Columbus too. So it's just what happens when you're consistently in the playoffs like that, and you're like cutting the checks to make it the salary cap smaller.
yeah,
That's what's going to happen. Everybody wants their money, but there's another name too. I forgot to mention Adam Henrique. Would you
yeah.
mind having Adam Henrique on the Rangers as well? Is your opinion on that?
I I wouldn't mind Henrique. I that's all. I wouldn't mind having him.
I mean, I know a lot of Ranger fans that have not watched a lot of hockey are gonna say, "Oh, well, he was a devil and this and that." And it's like, listen, I get it. He literally shot us out of the playoffs in 2012
Yeah,
when they went to their Stanley Cup against the Kings. But I mean, he's got 10 goals. It's a nice, easy contract. I feel like he
yeah,
would be a good third line guy. He's getting up there in age, so I feel like that's a good signing as well, or I guess trade.
yeah. Do you have any teams you're concerned about playing at all?
Teams that I'm concerned about playing. That's a good question. Gotta look at the standings here. I'm just trying to see. I would say Florida. I
Yeah,
would say Florida for that. Surprisingly, Winnipeg. I know we
yeah,
beat them, but Winnipeg's leading it right now at 54 points. I mean, they're just going off. Like they're skating fast. They're scoring a lot of goals. And this was a team that was supposed to rebuild, but kind of because of what happened with Pierre-Luc Dubois when he went over to the Kings.
yeah,
And I'm a little on them, and also to Colorado.
yeah.
Colorado's not a team to sleep
Colorado,
on.
yeah,
They are not a team to sleep on.
yeah,
They will come at you full force. Cale Makar, I feel like is still one of the top 3 defensemen in the game. Adam Fox was a little bit better. I'm gonna say
yeah,
that, but yeah, I would say for those for like the top guys, and then for like bottom feeders, I would actually be concerned with like the Islanders because they're
yeah.
just one of those teams. It's just like we should beat them. We can beat them, but somehow they will mess us up in the points and win more games against us.
It's like
Whenever,
if you have a good day, you beat the Islanders. If you have a bad day, you lose to the Islanders. Um,
exactly.
what do you think about the Devils? I mean, they haven't been that good this season.
Well, I know Timo's kind of starting to get back up there
Yeah, he's starting to
with
get
the
back in the groove.
points. Yeah, I know he was hurt for a while, and then when he came back, he wasn't really producing, especially getting that contract that he got
Yeah,
from New Jersey. But definitely, having Dougie Hamilton out for them is definitely a big hit on their defense.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, we could say Luke Hughes, the rookie, out playing whoever on the Rangers, but he's really not. Like he's good, but he's not that good. Where he's better than Adam Fox or Trouba or even
yeah.
Keandre Miller. So I mean, what did you think? I mean, this is definitely not Rangers related, but what did you think about that Brendan Smith hit on Connor Bedard?
Oh
Out,
yeah,
I think he's out for like 6 weeks now with
yeah.
a fractured jaw. So,
That was. I thought that was a nuts hit.
well, if it was Jacob Trouba, I would have been all over.
Yeah. Well, wait, I could rant on about how that would have been the whole thing on Twitter. You always see, I don't know if you know the Brat Pack on Twitter. You
I
always
do
see
not.
him going off on Truba.
Oh God.
So
But yeah, I'm not really concerned with the Devils because I believe Schmidt went down to the minors. Their
yeah,
goaltending is atrocious.
yeah,
So I mean, they're getting guys healthy. It kind of hurt with Luke Hughes and all them being hurt, but I feel
yeah,
like they're too low in the points to make a comeback.
yeah. Um, the only 2 teams that I would be concerned about playing is Florida and Colorado.
Literally the past 2 Stanley Cup champs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm always concerned with Colorado, especially the last few years, because they were in our situation a few years back.
yeah,
They were supposed to be tanking. They were just as bad as us, and all of a sudden they win the cup like 2 years
yeah,
later. It's like what? It's insane. But when you have Nathan McKinnon and all them, I guess it doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Do you have concern about playing Vegas?
Not at the moment.
Yeah,
Aiden Hill's hurt, and I was who's in net? Was it Thompson? Logan
yeah,
Thompson, I think, is in there. He's been okay, but he hasn't been like that great. So I feel like we can take advantage of him. Alec Martinez, I hate the guy. I've always hated him since 2014. If you know, you know.
yeah,
He's been a little bit off too on the defense, which is great for us. But Mark Stone, how many games is he really going to play? I mean, I
yeah,
know he's 31, but he missed a lot of the chunk last year. I think he's missed some games this year. So I'm not really too concerned with them, even though they've won a Stanley Cup last year. But
yeah,
I think once Aiden Hill comes back, it might be a different story. But as of right now, if we can play the Golden Knights like right now, which I'm just
yeah.
looking at our records,
I'm not sure when we can
we
play.
should be all right against
Yeah,
them. See, oh
I'm
yeah, we
not
don't play
sure.
them until the 18th. So if Aiden
Yeah,
Hill's still hurt, I think I'll crack that up as a W.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, you're right. Winnipeg, Winnipeg's gone crazy.
And
I
what's funny
don't.
is they were concerned about that because Connor Hallebuck, when they signed him, they were like,
Yeah,
"Why were you going to do that? Like, why would he even sign there?" I know he's frustrated with the team, and they just took off.
yeah. Um. So Winnipeg. So Winnipeg, Boston, and the Rangers are all tied at 54.
I'm not worried about Boston. I'll
No.
keep saying it until the cows come
Yeah,
home. They literally have a third and fourth line center playing the first and second line.
yeah,
I don't think that they're a good team. When I believe whatever last game they played where Jonathan Swayman was getting just beat up, I don't think it was Tampa. It was someone. He got lit up, and he's supposed to be a really good goalie, and this and that. I'm not gonna knock him too much. He is a good goalie, but they're acting as if he was better than Igor, and even Olmak has his moments. So I'm not worried about Boston at all.
yeah. Um, I know this is way in the future, way like a month away. Um, are you thinking we're going to be okay for stadium series? I know you said you're concerned with the Islanders, but we are 4-0 in outdoor games. So
I I'm not going to be too confident, but I'm not going to be less confident if that makes sense. I'm going to be right in that middle just because of what the Islanders have done to us in general.
yeah,
I do think we can beat them in the Stadium Series,
yeah,
which I don't know if you saw, but I believe the Islanders leaked their Stadium Series. It's almost kind of like I believe it was the '90s Islanders when they used to have the fisherman logo.
uh,
So they have that one out there for their Stadium Series jerseys.
hmm,
But we are 4-0. We've beaten way heavier and more powerful teams than
yeah,
that. So I have nothing to worry about in that Stadium Series. But do you think Pierre Lavalette should be, I guess, the Jack Adams Award winner for this year?
yeah, yeah. With how he's brought this team, like how long has it been since we've remained in first place for a few years? Like had I know we're not in first place in the league, but we're first place in the Eastern and the Metro.
I think I could be wrong. I think the only stretch that I remember is when Elaine Vigneault came over after Torts. I believe those first 3 years we were in first. I know we won the Presidents on one of them. I think that's when we went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then I believe we were first when we went to the Eastern Conference Finals against Tampa and lost in that game
Yeah,
7. So I think it's just been that
yeah,
as of recent. I know the Tortorella teams. We were always like third or fourth. I mean, you can't blame it at that time
yeah,
with how good the Pittsburgh Penguins were, the Washington Caps,
yeah,
and all that. So we were always just like kind of like right there. So I think it was Elaine Vigneault.
yeah. Um, one more thing before I start to wrap it up. Um, my friend texted me about this the other day. He said, "Would you want a NHL in season tournament?" Because I know they did it with the NBA. But I said yes, but I think it would be different from a regular season kind of thing. What do you think?
So we kind of do that already when it comes to the World Cup. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like an in-season tournament. And I
yeah,
know the last time we tried to do it, Gary Bettman was like, no.
yeah,
So I mean, I wouldn't mind it, especially if how the NBA formatted it. I just
yeah,
don't know if there's going to be any like time to do it. Like,
yeah,
if did he say like when would be a good date, or even your opinion of what you think would be a good date? Because I mean, maybe around like the all like kind of close to the All-Star break. So when there is an in-season
yeah.
tournament, you could just go right into the All-Star or have those days off.
Yeah, I would say
But
like the week before All Star, maybe the week before All Star weekend, or maybe 2 weeks prior.
and would you have it constructed the same way as the NBA?
Yeah.
if you win your division.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be dope, but I feel like there's a lot that goes on in hockey, whether it's at the World Juniors or, obviously the World Cup for us. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So I think we're going to start to wrap it up. Aaron, I appreciate you coming on again.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Show this again. Make sure you follow Aaron on Instagram and on Twitter. I think I got those two right?
Yep, and also too, if you want, you can follow my sports page _TMS podcast, which you see in the right hand corner right there. We follow back instantly. We usually do live streams on Tuesdays and or Wednesdays. We're gonna try to expand more. Same thing with Blue Shirts Banner. Again, I'll extend it on here live. I'll send an invitation out to you. So whenever everyone's free, we would definitely like to have you on. And it was a good show.
All right. And I just want to do this quickly. I hope maybe one time I can return the favor and come on to Blue Shirts Banner. And then remember, everybody, it's at the bottom. Use code MSNLGM on SeatGeek to save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek is great for family events, sporting events, concerts, and more. So next time you get Rangers tickets, use SeatGeek. All right, so I hope this is good for everybody, and hope everybody has a good day. All right, this has been Mason and Aaron. Remember to follow Aaron at his Instagram and Twitter, and his That's My Sports Podcast. Hope everybody has a good night, and let's go Rangers. All right.